way I can embarrass you for. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special Sunday night edition of the Sunday Sideline Report. You got the old ops guy here. You got the president who makes his appearances when he feels like it, but he can since he gets everything up on the network. The Sports Insanity Network live here for the first game of Sunday Night Football after a great day of football altogether. This morning, if you watched us live, you saw that Mike and I already had covered this losers team earlier during the day. So we don't have to talk about Green Bay. However, I was glad to hear that Jordan Love's injury is not a tear. I guess they are now saying it's between 3 to 5 weeks.
3 to 6. We're gonna have to trust in Willis for a couple games, but you know what? In the past, when the old helm was there and Aaron Rodgers, we had to rely on quarterbacks to help us try to get that playoff push. And granted, I got to revert back to I think 2018 when the Packers went 6-9, and that's the year that Rodgers,
Yeah.
in the same first week, first game of the regular season goes out, first couple drives and then goes down with a leg injury, comes back. We'll go. Let's see now. I'm going to go for Chocolate Wasted. Shout out to Grown Ups, the movie.
Great movie.
Came out of his mind. Chocolate Wasted on probably some adrenaline, and brought back the Packers for a win. But then Rodgers went down again with a collarbone injury and all that, and it's like, you know what? Let's not rush Jordan Love back. Let's just wait this out. And you know what? Granted, it's the first week of the season. I'm not calling this a loss already this season, but if the Packers struggle this year, it's fine. It's not the end of the world, people. Like all the Packer groups I'm in, people have been trolling us all day. Oh, we're going to go out and get Ryan Tannehill. We're going to call Colin Kaepernick. We're going to go get this person. It's like
Tannehill, Mike and I both agree on because we said that earlier.
I wouldn't mind Ryan Tannehill. I like Ryan Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
Great medium quarterback, middle of the quarterback, can fill in when the job is done. Granted, if he was young and hip still, I would still call Matt Flynn, but that's just me. But with the Packers, Jordan Love waited out. It's all right, Granted, 6 seconds left in the game, you go down with an injury on which we can pretty much all come to a consensus was a horrendous field that they all played on.
Oh, they wanted the game called even before it started, but that was denied. They are lucky unfortunately for the Packers, lucky only one injury came out of this. The field was dangerous. There is no two ways about that.
You saw it in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah. The fact that they couldn't wear green, that's another problem, how that got by good old Roger Goodell. Yes, I'm calling you out. Follow us. Do us a favor.
Oh, you can
come in right now. You can find us live. Come on, Roger.
You can pull the good old Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy line from him not liking Rob Manfred. I still don't like you.
Please. I understand that different parts of the world colors mean something to a lot of things. In America, blue and red, I'm not going to go into it. We know what they mean, Patrick, and I know what those colors stand for. We get it. However, do we see the problems that, well, we're actually not out there, but you don't hear of too much gang violence at an NFL football game. You hear a lot of individual violence, but not multitude of gang violence because the Detroit Lions are coming in and they're wearing blue, so you can't wear blue in the state of California. Come on. It's a little ridiculous that the teams could not wear their dominant colors at all. But then we had a great day of football. Actually, the first half of football today was probably the most boring football I watched all day. The first half of the 1 o'clock games were all boring. There was nothing going on. And a couple scores here and there. Minnesota made it exciting. It was the only game really on to watch. And then the second half happened. Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud came alive. And not just they woke up like they were coming out of Bream got the willies. No, it's like they realized that this is no longer just, we're here. This is it. If we don't produce now, it's not going to happen for anybody. So let's take a look at this game. I mean, from the get go, everyone had this game teed up as a rematch from last year. Unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers was down during that game, and Aaron Rodgers, Jesus, Anthony Richardson was down during that game. So a little bit different. But CJ Stroud, 24-32, 234, 2 touchdowns. The reason why they moved the ball so well was the signing of Joe Mixon, 30 carries, 159 and a touchdown. And then Nico Collins with 6 for 117. But Stephon Diggs also chipped in with 2 touchdown receptions today. Richardson did not have his greatest game, but didn't have a bad game. 9 of 19, 212 and 2 touchdowns.
His
But
first
the
game
problem,
back.
right. The problem here is that Anthony Richardson also led the team in rushing when you have Jonathan Taylor on the team. And
Oof.
that's it. And that's a problem. So he got 6 for 56 and the touchdown. And then Alex Pierce with a nice day, 3 for 125 and a touchdown. Patch, considering that these two guys, they're going to be facing off a lot in their future and whatnot. From what I just said, what are your takes on this fun opening?
Well, it's probably, minus, Jacksonville and Miami. It was probably the most exciting 1 o'clock game that happened. You got 2 young quarterbacks going at it, both in their second season. Granted, we know that Anthony Richardson's season was cut short last year due to injury. So, the Colts season was just, it was kind of just derailed after that because, you have the quarterback of the future in Indy there, and, it got derailed. And now Anthony Richards back. Granted, they lost today, but everything looks promising for the Colts. And Houston's just picking up where they left off. And especially with all the talent they have now, never know. If this team just stays healthy, runs its course, they have a shot to beat down Kansas City.
On the offensive part, I totally agree with you. The defensive part, they fell apart.
Week 1. Gotta.
Fair enough. It is week 1. We're going to have a lot of interesting teams that we're talking about tonight. We're sitting down to watch this the Stafford Hill Rams versus the Goff Lions. Actually, sounds like a bad cuisine.
Definitely a great Sunday night matchup we have tonight. Could also be a potential playoff contention.
Absolutely. I mean,
I'm not saying NFC. I'm not saying NFC Championship game, but this is wild card divisional matchup.
Possibly. I mean, it's gonna be between a couple of teams to win the NFC this year. One of them is playing right now, Detroit. The Detroit Lions are arguably the most complete team in football. This being me being not allowed to put the Cowboys first. I cannot put the Cowboys first. So
you're a non-biased journalist.
Correct. If I'm looking at the league as a whole, I think that the Lions picked up the pieces they needed in secondary. They added to the defensive line. And that offense, you didn't need to add much. They got a couple pieces for the offensive line. And this is the stuff that the Detroit Lions are built for now that they weren't last year. It's these quick pitch passes, which I've always found wide receiver screens really to be a waste of time. But yes, sometimes they do work. But in this case, it goes for a -2. And of course, if Cooper Kupp is anywhere on the field, you're going to be shadowing
Going else. throughout the league. You know,
Yep. No, just keeping people know what we're talking about.
uh,
Well,
I,
go
I
ahead,
kind of
Pat.
want I kind of want to talk about the dumpster fire that is the New York Giants.
Sure. I got a feeling you didn't
They're
watch that whole
uh,
game today.
I I was watching bits and pieces today when I had the chance. I had some prior obligations to do today, as we had a nice run back from Detroit. It, you know what? I hate to say it. The Giants are going to be lucky to win 5 games this year, and I'll call it right now.
Watching
For
this
all the people,
Giants team. Sorry, go ahead, Patrick.
no, you go first, and I will go after that. We'll go
Watching
through.
this Giants,
Go through the numbers.
watching this Giants game today, the Giants didn't improve at all. Malik Neighbors is one thing, but let's take a look at what happened today. Sam, I see Ghost Darnold, 19 to 24, 208, 2 touchdowns with a pick.
Well,
Your
that's
boy
Minnesota's
Aaron's.
quarterback.
Yes, I know. I'm not getting to the
I
Giants yet. I'm doing the
I know.
league
I'm
thing
just
first.
saying where we were kind of talking about the Giants for a second,
Uh,
then you kind of just flipped
uh,
at the Vikings. Go
yeah,
ahead,
we're
continue.
so your boy Aaron Jones, 14 for 94 and a touchdown. And then Justin, all I do is just catch touchdown passes better than Chris Carter, 4 for 59 and a touchdown. Keynote is that Jordan Addison, the number 2 wide receiver, did leave the contest in the third quarter with an ankle injury. They are saying right now they don't believe it to be too serious. Right now he's day to day, and we'll see more after we get other reports. Now on to, like Pat said, the dumpster fire that is the New York Giants. And I think Pat's being generous with his 5 games. Daniel, I'm worth 4 years and 40 million a year. Jones, 22 of 42, 186 yards and 2 picks. Devin, I have never really been a number one running back. 10 carries, 37 yards. But a nice day for rookie Malik Neighbors, who did get 5 receptions for 66 yards. Okay. Before this game
Fire Young with the
started,
sack in Detroit.
who got through?
Byron Young.
Go figure.
All right, back to the Giants.
From the moment the game started, the Giants were eliminated from the playoffs. So let's just save New York a ton of trouble. And half the state that loves the Giants don't even watch anymore. You're done. The bag will be making its appearance during a week. Don't worry. We're going to make sure he shows up. Patch, you've heard us talk about it. I know you've been unable to be here on our NFL, so now I'm glad I got you. We're going to get your opinion on this. Why the hell are we still watching Daniel Jones besides this contract that's holding him?
I unfortunately it happened because the Giants made the playoffs 1 year with him. They made the playoffs and was like, oh my God, Daniel Jones is the future. You know, he is finally, coming into himself, and everything looks up, and maybe he can be like Eli and give us that next Super Bowl. And then after that, reality sets in because I'm not saying Daniel Jones is a terrible quarterback or a mediocre quarterback. He has nothing to help him prosper. And you know what? We've seen it in the past with other quarterbacks that have gone to other teams and moved on. Baker Mayfield's now in Tampa Bay, thriving. Look at Sam Darnold today, 2 touchdowns. Okay, throw an interception. He has an O-line, was only sacked once for 7-yard loss. Went 19 of 24, 200 yards passing. Look, when other quarterbacks leave the team that they are drafted by, sometimes they go off and prosper.
Mark, here is your reminder. Mark, don't forget to put away your glasses.
Good job, Siri. Good job, Alexa, for reminding old ops guy to remember to do something because he sometimes
Yeah.
forgets to do stuff.
Oh, yes.
But the Giants just need to move on and let Daniel Jones. I know what I rather see Daniel Jones in North Carolina right now with the Panthers because there's a glimmer of hope down there for him to maybe go prosper down in North Carolina.
Well, as Mike the Pumpmaster Rifkin did point out this morning, is that the Giants after this year can opt out of Daniel Jones's contract, and we can pretty much say, as if it were to be today, that's a safe bet. I can't predict what's going to happen in the next 16 games, and I'm not going to.
Neither am I, but we're on. We see quarterbacks get these enormous contracts after they make a playoff little run. Granted, it's a non-biased thing, but Jordan Love getting paid, I think, I'd rather have maybe him gotten less money because I don't think he's worth that kind of money right now. Yes, first year as the starting quarterback for the Packers after being the predecessor to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Okay, you made the playoffs, made a little playoff push. You beat the Cowboys, and then we lose a nail biter to the Niners. Okay, I could see. Okay, you know what? Hey, let's sign you to a contract extension, but you're gonna get, instead of the $44 million a year, you're gonna get $36 million a year, which is still reasonable. Once again, no offense to Dak Prescott, I don't think he should have been paid that money either, because you know what? What has he done to earn that money? Granted, the Cowboys have a couple playoff pushes, but the Cowboys falter in the playoffs lately as well.
No, not just falter.
Well, crap! Oh wow, what a catch!
That
Almost a pick.
it was so close.
Regardless, these quarterbacks are now just getting stupid money for no reason. And you know what? And I'm unfortunate it's starting to turn into baseball, where baseball players get stupid money too for no reason.
Nice pass
To
from
me,
Stafford to cut.
to me, you get that money if you make a Super Bowl and you win a Super Bowl.
Well, let's look back and start.
Only acceptable way to get that kind of money. You make the Super Bowl, you win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, I am fine with if he get $50 million a year for the next 10 years.
Arguably, the only quarterback in the last decade who is arguably worth that type of money. When you look, I'm glad that Dak Prescott got his extension. You want to know why? It's because I'm not starting over when you have the right guy to run your offense. But here's what it's going to do. Dak Prescott got $231 million guaranteed. That's just to take a cheap shot at Justin Jefferson a little bit. Fine, who cares? This now frees up, and we know that CeeDee Lamb got paid. Now there is no problem because of the way the cap hit is going to hit, that Micah Parsons will be on any other team. He will get what he wants. And now you got the trouble out of your way, and all this dead money contracts are about to fall off. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be in the best position cap-wise for the first time in so many years that free agents are going to start flocking back to Dallas. But Pat's also made a good thing. It's a time to clean house. These rookie quarterbacks getting large contracts. So let's take a look at two rookie quarterbacks. And, he's in his second year. He really didn't play much in his first year. And that was the game between the Chicago Bears and the Tennessee Titans, the game against two former number one picks, Caleb Williams and Will Levis, Tennessee and Chicago. Here's my problem. The Chicago Bears won the game. Unbelievably. Caleb Williams was being interviewed after this game like he had everything to do with it. No offense, it's his kid's first game in the NFL, and he was 14 of 29 for 93 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns, no fumbles. DeAndre Swift, 10 for 30, and DJ Moore, 5 for 36. Here's my problem. I look at a team when you're taking the Chicago Bears, and you take Caleb Williams, who is supposed to be the next Patrick Mahomes, and you've given him not one, not two, but three competent receivers. You give him a good tight end. You give him a running back who's not only good in the backfield, who's also great as a receiving running back. And he's getting congratulated on the win. The defense and special teams won this game. Will Levis on the other side was not that great either.
I mean, they got a block punt for a score, and then they got a pick six.
Yeah, I mean, it was defense and special teams. It was the field goals helped, but don't tell me that this is Caleb Williams doing. No, go interview the defensive coordinator or put them the defense together. The biggest spot of the entire day was Tony Pollard with his 16 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. Nobody else, in my mind, offensively on either side of the ball did anything to impress. So when Patch makes a great point that these rookie QBs are getting these huge contracts, and then you got players like Will Levis, CJ Stroud, and good old Bryce say, hey, look, Panini, we're not going to do your rookie cards. We're going to just sign with Fanatics. And we're paying them even more to be here. And they haven't earned it yet. So I understand Pat's frustration, but don't tell me Caleb Williams deserves credit for this win.
He does not deserve credit. And a good friend of mine posted it on Facebook. Caleb Williams raising his arms like he had a contributing factor into them winning. The Bears defense looked like the '86 Bears defense. That Bears defense looked great, and that's going to probably help them a lot this year while Caleb Williams develops himself in Chicago.
Look, I understand. Well, Troy Aikman, my favorite quarterback, 1989, threw 18 picks to 9 touchdowns. First year jitters, first year trying to learn the system, first year whatever. I understand. Then pay them like first year people, not $39 million plus signing bonuses, plus night shoe deals. I think it was Dan Marino who made all accessories, all endorsements when he became the king of isotoners. That started the athlete, trend. But Chicago now 1-0. We now know the Packers are 0-1, and right now Detroit's playing currently and tied, and Minnesota is 1-0. The way the Detroit defense is playing, it's looking good, but if the offense doesn't put points on the board, it's going to be a long night. It looks like it's been a long day for the president as he is gone.
A little bit of a long day.
A little bit of a long day? You're allowed to have a long day.
Other news, we'll get to another football game in a minute. There's for the baseball fans out there, there's a home run cycle watch right now.
To be honest, after the Mets lost today, I stopped watching baseball. For the day.
D-backs left fielder Pavin Smith has hit 3 home runs. 3 homers by the 5th inning tonight as a 3-run shot, a 3-run home run, grand slam, and now a solo shot. So he just needs the 2-run home run, and we have ourselves a MLB home run cycle, which for historians out there has never happened in the MLB.
Give me a second. I'm looking something up because I don't know if I'm correct. Hold on.
We have seen the 4 home run game, but we've never seen the home run cycle. So, while Mark looks up a statistic or whatever he's doing.
I was looking up something because I thought it was him, and it's not. Pavin Smith came up on the scene a few years ago, but I had thought he was one from Dutchess County. It's not him. That's what I was looking for immediately. I'm like, wait a second, was he the guy from Dutchess County? No. I don't think any of the guys I announced from Dutchess County made it to the MLB.
All right, heading back to the NFL.
Why not? Go ahead.
A guy with a rebirth of a career, Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
Taking down the Washington Commanders, 24 of 30, 289, 4 TDs, no INTs, and was only sacked once. Baker Mayfield's back, baby.
Baker Mayfield has had. I am glad he has found an organization willing to back him and keep him healthy. Mind you, everyone's going to say, "Oh, it's against the Commanders." You want to know what? Football's football. And hats off. I'm glad that Jaden Daniels, got 2 scores on the day, both running in. I mean, Jaden had a good day as a rookie quarterback, 17, 24, 184. No interceptions, no touchdowns, which is fine. 16 for 88 and 2 touchdowns on the ground for Jaden Daniels. Why is Jaden Daniels, why are you putting your rookie number 2 pick out there to get nailed when you have Austin Eckler? And who just made fun of me because you're laughing?
I know. I was reading something.
Why the heck are you letting Jaden Daniels scramble and run as much when you put all this money into Austin Eckler?
Who only had 2 carries on 10 yards.
And 4 receptions for 52. I understand, obviously, once it was, I believe, 16-7 at the half. By the fourth quarter, this game was out of reach. And, at that point, it's just putting up the ball. I don't think we've seen the full display of Jaden Daniels yet. I'm sure we'll get a better look at him as we go forward. But again, like Caleb Williams, first year start, you got to give them a little bit of leeway. Before Patch falls asleep, let's go to the other game that Patch said was very exciting. And that would be the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. By halftime, it was 17-7, and I was like, "Oh God, Mike Rifkin's punching a wall or something."
He's getting ready to be. He's ready to pull a Tyreek Hill.
Oh God, get in quick and get out as fast as you can without being caught. But let's take a look at the day. Trevor Lawrence for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 12 of 21, 162 and 1. Tank Bigsby. Why the heck? I don't know what happened to Travis Etienne. I know he had a touchdown early in the game, but why is Tank Bigsby your leading rusher? I don't understand. And then Gabe Davis, who came over from Buffalo, 3 for 62. Tua, I still am never going to get that name right. I always fuck it up. So Tua, 23 of 37, 338 and 1. Here's the problem I have. You have 338 yards and only 1 touchdown. That's a problem. And the 1 touchdown you had was the 80-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill, in which he caught and run 40 extra yards of it. Why is this team, meaning the Dolphins, not putting up more in the air? And Don Amici did have a score today, so I was happy about that too.
What?
Yep. Miami, on to you.
Oh, what was the question? I had a text I was reading.
Oh, that's okay. You're the president. It was probably one for advertising.
Probably.
What I was saying was, why aren't the Miami Dolphins putting up more touchdowns in the air when you have 338 yards and only 1 touchdown?
It's one of those weird things. Oh, a vice president appearance by Danny Boy Reginald in the building.
How you doing, my bud?
I'm good.
You don't look it. No offense. We know why.
He looks gorgeous as ever.
Dan's got a little tropical fever going on. Dan's a little under the weather down there in DC, but it's good to see him on here. That means he's feeling good enough to be here with his buds.
Yeah, and I'll be good enough to do SIP this week, so I'm not fully taking myself out of it because, again, even though I'm not well, I'm well enough to do shit. So,
Hey,
Dan, let's see. I go live from the hospital, and I get not only yelled at by Dan, by Patch after the episode. What the hell are you doing? going right to the hospital.
Well,
He
but
sounded
that's different.
ridiculous.
Hold up, saying that's different. You're in the hospital. I'm just
Tubes hanging
home.
out of me, tubes hanging out of me, and I'm doing a live cast.
Like I'm home. Like I can breathe, my man.
No, I know.
I don't have. I don't. I'm not gonna go there. I was gonna go completely different area.
We do
But
it. Do it off air.
okay, yeah.
No,
Um.
but
I missed most of the Sunday football because I was loaded with urgent care appointments and trying to clear up my medicine. So, I saw that the Giants lost, so Billy Boyd is going to have a really tough conversation when we tape our SIP.
Bill has had a rough weekend between the Giants losing and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish losing.
oh
Yeah.
god,
How horrible is that, by the way?
Oof. Oof.
you want to know what
Brutal.
made that worse? Is that mind you, these guys know more about college football than I do.
I barely know any college football.
Won't know arrangements and stuff like that. You want to know where I caught caption is that the fact that Notre Dame paid $1.4 million to play this game and got their asses handed to them. No offense, I know I'm going to be struck down. The Irish suck.
Bill's gonna come busting through the door and just Superman punch you.
I'm sorry.
The fact they gave a school that has never beaten a top 10 ranked team their first win beating a top ranked team. Only the Irish can do that.
Yeah, and on national television too, so everyone and their mom can see it.
Sheesh,
I'm a gambling guy too. I would
Oh.
wish I could have seen.
Sheesh, I watched
odds on
Nebraska
that.
beat up Colorado last night, and I was loving every minute of it.
I mean, I was watching, replays of it. I had to go on and take a look at through ESPN and see what the hell happened. And it was just, you know what it reminded me of? The classic thing we've used in this network, a trap game. However, this is a trap game that financially costs you.
I mean, I think the only thing that is up here is when Auburn beat Alabama.
I mean, that would be a fair comparison, yes.
I mean, it's a very long range comparison because that's the peak of Alabama football, where Alabama is just the number one power horse, and Auburn's just Auburn. Auburn just gets a fluke of a win. Not saying a fluke of a win, but they got a prayer from the gods above, and they beat Alabama. And now that's going to be another memory that's etched in as Detroit plows through for a first down. But
I love this two-headed monster of Gibson Montgomery.
To get back to your question about Miami, this is all just Miami trying to execute in the red zone. You can pass it all day when you're outside the red zone. You rack up the passing yards, rack up the fantasy points for all the fantasy people out there. But when you can't execute in the red zone, you're not putting up more points passing. And it might just be my philosophy of maybe doing football, but okay, if I'm inside the 5, I'm going to keep running it up outside slant, maybe an outside slant pass, but punch it through when you have running backs that can get the job done and get up the middle, especially once you keep moving inside the 5, you can do a QB sneak up a little bit, but run that football inside the 5. Outside the 5, pass it once or twice. If not, run it again.
When I look at the Miami game today and I look at their game plan, Tua put up 37 passes and they had 25 runs. Okay. So you had a total of 62 total offensive plays. And you only put up 1 touchdown through the air and 1 on the ground. The 1 on the ground came with the guy with the most attempts at 10 and only got at 2.4 yards an average. And that's my guy. I joke around with Mike. I call him Don Amici, Devon A-Chain, second year starter now for Miami. Tyreek Hill, always impressive, but you have to remember, of those 130 yards, one of them was for 80, so that means the rest of his day was 6 for 50. Jalen Waddle had a solid day, 5 for 109. But Patch, are we starting to see a different? Is Jacksonville done? Is the Trevor Lawrence era over already before it's really even tried?
Um, no, because Trevor Lawrence got through the Urban Meyer debacle,
Okay.
and I think Urban Meyer, um, I need an accent here, fudged up a lot of fudged up Lawrence a lot. And he was doing a lot of wrong football that just wasn't good. So I'm not over the Trevor Lawrence experience. I think Trevor Lawrence has the run game that's going to help him, and Bigsby and ETN. He can run it, and then I think they just got to find a couple wide receivers to help Trevor Lawrence. And I think
And
Lawrence can, and I don't think it's over yet for him. I'm not giving up hope on Lawrence yet.
And I hope, you're right, because when he came up, there was a lot of hope for Sunshine. That he got that nickname as compared to the quarterback in the movie. Remember the Titans, great movie. But I'm looking at the breakdown of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence threw 21 passes, and they rushed. They had 26 rushing plays. That means they ran 47 offensive plays, almost 20 less plays than what Miami did, and you're able to put up all your points in the first half. What went wrong? What changed?
Well, part of it was the Dolphins, just making big time plays when they had to. And then, of course, just the brilliant coaching of Mike McDaniel. Because at the end of the day, you have to take that into consideration too. Mike McDaniel doesn't just, give up. He makes his players play to the end, and he utilizes all of his weapons.
Maybe I missed something. I haven't seen anything up on newscast or whatever. I look at the breakdown of the carries, and it's an even stat for Bigsby and Etienne. Both got 12 carries. When Travis Etienne has been your number one running back for the last few years, why is Tank Bigsby getting? I mean, did Etienne get injured? Did I miss something?
It's odd. It's very odd.
I mean, Travis Etienne, we all know, is not only a good running back, he's also a great receiver. So he's dangerous on the field, and I don't understand why we're splitting time with a guy who, I mean, in all honesty, as I have to go look up Tank Disney, I haven't seen him in a long time. His career, he has 50 career, and not including today's 12. He has 50 career rushes. When ETN used to lead with you with 20 carries a game, you're going to give this kid a shot? Why? I mean, I know you're trying to do things that are not going smart or not going right,
All right.
but did I miss something on ATM? It just seems weird that Tank Bigsby was becoming a feature asset.
But why take the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hands too?
Well, when you look at what, I mean, Lawrence was pretty much on target. I mean, if you want to go take a look at the entire, I mean, depth chart, let's do it because we kind of have to, is where things went wrong. Let's watch this work on the first attempt. Where, I mean, Gabe Davis showed up as we saw. He got one of the touchdowns. Fine. Christian Kirk wasn't heard from. I really don't know. And I know Brian Thomas. I'm sorry, Brian Thomas got the touchdown, not Gabe Davis. Brian Thomas got his touchdown today. You have Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne, and the next name besides not being a rookie is Devin Duvernay. Um, Dan's right. Why are they being so conservative? Patch.
Jacksonville, you don't. Yeah, we've been trying to see the Jaguars come to relevancy through over the years for all their debacles, and they have a quarterback, and it's just like they're not letting. To quote Family Guy, when Peter Griffin told Lois right before Stewie's first birthday party, "Geez, Lois, he's won. Cut the umbilical cord already." That's what they need to do. Just cut the umbilical cord. Let Trevor Lawrence do what Trevor Lawrence knows he can do.
Yeah, and then mix up the game plan too. Something that Doug Peterson, again, really hasn't shown with this club.
So we're about to see Detroit send out the kicking unit, and what should be a chip shot should end up making it 3-3.
So far, defensive battle here.
Which I expected it to be the other way around. I expected it to be a run over
Yeah.
game, as I said this morning. Score. But right now, both defenses are playing good.
Yeah. Well,
Especially LA with that good
that's a
stuff.
good sign. It's a good sign for Detroit because Detroit, we're banking on their defense to be very good this year.
Right, as it collapsed last year.
Yeah.
Down the end of the stretch. All right, now I'm going to make these two suffer. Let's go over to America's team. Why not?
Hey.
Go over to the real true.
Oh, well, hold up a second. How
Yes,
did
sir.
you watch the game? Did you?
Yes, of course I did.
Okay. How did Tom Brady do in his broadcasting debut? Your opinion.
I enjoyed it.
I'm not going to say he was as bad as I was predicting, but he wasn't entertaining to listen to.
Yeah.
But Kevin Burkhardt controlled that conversation.
Oh yeah, no, Kevin Burkhardt, and he's a pro. He kind of reminds me of how Tony Romo started. Tony
Fair enough.
Romo didn't start out, being this guessing wizard, and then all of a sudden people were praising it. No, he was nervous, and he was, trying to get, all the kinks out and everything. So yeah, I just wanted your opinion. I watched some of it.
As I said, I have a lot of detest for Tom Brady, and these guys know that.
Yeah.
As I said, when I found out that the game was actually, because I'm not always guaranteed the Dallas game here in New York, I would have to go on to my other assets. But when I saw that the Dallas game was on, I was pumped. I'm happy. First game, and then I get the notice it's Tom Brady's game. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll put the game on mute, and I'll do better than he's going to do anyway. However, when I saw Kevin Burkhardt was the other one with him, I'm like, fine, I can do this.
Right.
Not a problem.
What was it? What was it, 33-17 or whatever?
33-17. The
Yeah.
$60 million man, Dak Prescott, 19-32, 179 and a touchdown. And Feedham is back. Zeke Elliott, 10 carries, 40 yards. Let's put it to you this way. It's a 4-yard per average. Something Zeke Elliott has not averaged since 2018. Zeke averaged 4 yards a carry. And CD Lamb, whether it was with his legs or catching the ball, 5 for 61.
Just go find a Salvation Army jar.
I'm telling you, the Thanksgiving Day game, I hope they do that. I don't care how much of a fine it is. Let them fine him $1 million. I don't care. Because I want to see Zeke come out of the kettle. I mean, that's Thanksgiving. There is some unfortunate news on both sides. Tight end Jason Ferguson for Dallas left in the end of the third quarter with an apparent knee.
Here's your reminder. Mark, don't forget the aesthetic for
Okay, there we go. I got to take care of that tomorrow. As Pat said, the old ops guy has to have these reminders. Jason Ferguson went down with a knee injury. As of right now, it's being called a sprain, but we'll know more at the MRI tomorrow. And then David Njoku took a shot. And at first, I even thought it deserved a flag because I thought it was a dirty hit by Donovan Wilson. Now it was a clean shot. It was right to the shoulder pad. It was not to the head. And I don't think Njoku knew where he was, and he was very wobbly, and plus he was pointing at his knees. So both tight ends did lead the game not to return, so we'll obviously have more on that as we get towards the middle of the week. And there's one of the guys with one of the greatest names of the wide receiver, Puka. Oh, I love Puka. Nakua. Puka, you gotta love this kid.
Puka Nakua.
Mind you, at the start of last season, all of a sudden I'm hearing this new wide receiver out. I'm like, well, that guy was drafted like hey. And look at some bitch. Yeah, some jerk in our league picked him up 5 minutes before I did. Nope.
It's like you try to pronounce Tua's last name.
Nope, not happening.
Hungo Vailoa.
That's it. That's what. This is. I need the phonetic. It's got to be laid out. Deshaun Watson looked a little limp. He didn't get his massage before the game today, going 24 of 45 for 169, a touchdown that was in garbage time, and 2 interceptions, one of them by the great Trayvon Diggs. Welcome back. And then thrown 12 carries, 44 yards. I think the Dallas defense has only gotten better. I don't think that. Look, I was not only upset, I was concerned when Dan Quinn left. We got a screw. Oh, that's a fumble.
They're calling it down.
Okay. Hate that. I expected Dallas to have a big defensive reawakening with Dan Quinn gone, but they went out and got not as good as Dan Quinn, but they got some guy who's familiar with defense and Zimmer and Mike Zimmer. I am happy with the way Dallas played today, and Cleveland isn't an easy team to beat. Look out. America's team is back, baby.
Well,
don't get your hopes up after week 1.
What are you talking about? I'm a Cowboy fan. From week 1 all the way back to 1962 when we were first in, we said we're going to the Super Bowl. Okay? It doesn't matter. Pat, you even say, oh, we're going to playoffs. We're okay.
Oh, okay, hang on.
Good blocking.
Give me a minute. I gotta step out for a second.
Okay. Dan.
I thought Cleveland was flat today. They were not. They were flat offensively. They didn't really move the ball much. And then defensively, they had no answer for Dallas. You're talking about all the big time offensive performances and Dak Prescott obviously showing why he got the contract that he got today, right? Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So, like I said, Cleveland was flat today, and the Cowboys took advantage of that. That's a really, really not an easy thing to do to start out the season.
No, I mean, look, Cleveland is and will be a tough team throughout this season. They're going to become even more dangerous when Nick Chubb gets back. Right now, I think it's
Chubb.
I mean, Amani Cooper's drop was kind of like a stab in the heart because I happen to like Amani Cooper from when he was drafted with Oakland all the way to when he came Dallas, even going to Cleveland. I still like, but that was so un-Cooper-like for him to drop him. So, we'll see what happens next week for the Browns. We have a game tomorrow night that Mike and I talked about a little bit. But since he's here, let's dive a little in to tomorrow night's matchup, which has Dan's gangrene Jets versus the Purdy San Francisco 49ers. Is Aaron Rodgers welcome back time? Dan, you want to give us a little insight on this game?
So, I mean, there's still they're still talking about this Hassan Reddick thing, which is incredibly annoying. No one cares. Nobody gives a sugar, honey, iced tea. No one cares. By the way, big brother Ford. What's his name now? Angry Jet
We have Patch. We have finally have got this guy. He's out camping. That's what it looks like. You look like he's out camping.
the
Now look, you've been talking. Just because the Cowboys won does not mean your team is going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. I need you to be a little bit humble here, Mark. All right, I need you to be a little bit humble.
So, Patch, what is the official new nickname of this man? We discussed a few combinations, and we finally agreed on one.
I gotta find it. Hang on. Was it in our messenger chat or was
it was
it?
you and me. We kept the sir part.
It
Eric doesn't keep the
is
sir part.
the Sir
Oh wait, here
Angry
it is.
Jet
Sorry,
fan.
Sir Eric Angry Jet fan Ford is now Eric's new official network name.
I like it.
Because let me tell you, that was just a nice breath of fresh air when Eric just came in and went nuts on Mike. That was fun. That was fun. Oh wow, Eric just rapidly transformed from camping, and now he's on the sunny coast of San Francisco.
Wait, well, he's in San Francisco. He's getting ready for the Jet game.
Yeah.
That's right.
We were just as you were
Just about to
entering.
start it. So there you go. Here we go. We
Yeah,
got our
so
Jets contingency.
just as you were entering, Eric, we were talking about the Jets. I'm sick and tired. I don't know about you. I'm sick and tired of this Hassan Reddick nonsense. Like no one cares. It's over.
There's always something, man. It's always something. Every single year, there's always something with the Jets. I'm tired of it.
Like, I'm over it. Like, can we focus on winning? Look, we have Aaron Rodgers, someone that I'm starting to embrace because I have to. The Jets have to win eventually, right? So, like, can we focus on winning? That's the main key here. I think the Jets have done a good job at trying to block out the noise. It's very hard to do because it's the Jets. Nobody likes the Jets. So no matter what, they are going to either talk trash about the Jets national media or the Jets are going to have some type of self-inflicted wound, however it is. So I'm pumped up about this game. I want the Jets to kick the 49ers ass because Lord knows they also have some drama of their own, and none of those players are ready. And let's kick their ass. Let's beat them up. I'm talking like 50-3. How about that? No, that's wishful thinking, but
That's wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking, especially on a primetime game. Wishful thinking. But yeah, there's no reason why the Jets should lose. We got to come out swinging in all cylinders here. I mean, this is a good week to win. The Giants lost. AKA got crushed. AKA got beat up. AKA Danny Dimes is in his prime form. AKA he learned from vintage Eli Manning.
AKA nothing has changed.
AKA nothing has changed. Actually, I just seen a video of a Giants fan torching a Daniel Jones jersey.
I think the best thing going for Giants fans is probably the comedian Vic that does the angry press conference. Have you ever seen those?
Eric,
it's the equivalent of you giving a Jets rant.
We need you to bring one of these in a week. A record once a week like this guy, pounding the Jets on what they did wrong, but being nice about what they did right. What do you think? You think you could do that? Maybe even once a month. Give it a once a month thing, not a once a week thing, because I know you're very busy.
Yeah, I think I could do that. Yeah.
So
again, I can't be as loud as I would like to be.
Oh no, you can be loud because this guy's very loud when he does his.
Look, Dan, Hatch, we love our team. We're passionate. I get crazy about Dallas. This guy goes even higher than that. He takes it a step higher, but he makes it friggin' comments heard. So now you have met the unheard sole voice behind this network, and we're gonna get that type of reaction from Eric. We'll make sure he gets set up, and Patch will work on that with me and him, and get him to do that.
Mhm.
I think that's a yes from Patch at this time at night.
uh,
Otherwise, out in football land, we had the
Did anyone
discussion.
check up on Bill? Is he okay?
I don't.
He hasn't gotten back to me yet, so
the only thing we talked about was when we were taping our next SIP. So
Well,
The
as long as
the man is having a rough weekend.
yeah,
You know, the Yankees are kind of not doing good things against the Cubs.
yeah. Well, they won the series. They won
They
the
won
series.
they won the series against the Cubs, but then his Fighting Irish basically ruined their chances of winning a national championship.
oh yeah,
And then the Giants, kind of getting embarrassed.
I mean, it look, Giants fans, it's not the worst thing ever. You could be the Panthers.
That's the truth.
Or you can still have what's his face as your coach. I'm drawing a memory blank.
Oh, Joe Judge.
Not Joe Judge. The other one.
Oh, Ben McAdoo.
You can still have Ben McAdoo.
I don't know. He kind of did what was right.
You know what, Giants? You can always call Bill Belichick to maybe
let
come
me
and save
tell
you.
you, Mike and I were talking this morning because Belichick has said he's just taking a step back this year. There are a number of teams that could end up with him, especially a coach who's on the hot seat. And even though Dallas won today and beat Cleveland, unless, like Patrick and I said at the beginning, unless Dallas makes it to the NFC Championship game, that's it for McCarthy. But could we see Belichick in Dallas? Possibility.
Yeah.
Could
Well,
we see Belichick with the? Could we see Belichick come home to New York? Attendance would go nuts if Belichick became the Giants coach.
yeah. Oh, I mean, they love Belichick.
So my question is, Belichick's what? Got to be in his mid-70s. I don't know how old.
75?
He's got to be in his mid-70s, dating a girl in her 20s. God knows, God, what a lifestyle that's got to be.
72.
Oh, 72. Okay. I mean, Don Shula, all of them have had their time, but he is within grasp of the all-time win record. And whether it's with the Giants, whether it's with, unless McCarthy gets fired, Dallas, I think there are a number of places he could go and get that record.
He's going to be very picky about his next spot, which tells me no bad situations, no rebuild situations. I think he wants to win now. Because I don't think Bill Belichick is going to be patient for a project franchise.
Well, let's put it this way. We saw what happened with Jimmy Johnson and Dallas. Johnson wanted full control. And it should have been given it and should still be coaching there right now, to be honest. But that didn't happen. Would Jerry Jones, in my opinion, no.
That
Give up full
hopium
control
is
to
just so
Belichick?
high right now. He is on that hopium right now. Not opium, hopium.
Oh, I was like, Eric, we're live, bud.
HOP, not OP. Opium. That's something delusional Giants fans say when Daniel Jones is top 10 quarterback and they pay him an unauthorized amount of money for no reason at all.
It'd still be Sam Darnold by seeing ghosts.
Yep.
Look, the New York Giants at the end of this year, provided things keep going the way they're going, can opt out of Jones's contract. But playing it safe is something the Pittsburgh Steelers did today by sitting old man Russell Wilson with a calf strain and going with the young blood Justin Fields to go up against Mike Rifkin's beloved Kirk Cousins, who I can't stand and with a passion. But let's read it off. Kirk Cousins, 16 for 26, 155, a touchdown, and the usual 2 interceptions. Bijan Robinson, the man who was going to have 150 yards today, 18 for 68 yards. And Ray McLeod III, 4 for 52. Justin Fields got the start. Now, here's my thought. We know where they're going to revert back to Russell Wilson because Mike Tomlin's ego is at stake here, as we've all said, because the man has never had a losing season. Fields didn't do bad. He didn't force it. 17-23, 156. Najee Harris, 20 carries for 70 yards. And George Pickens now has his new sideline move when he catches the ball. He blows kisses to the cheerleader. Wonderful. Sexual harassment right on national television. Just what we all want to worry about. Here's the thing. This game was won by the Pittsburgh Steelers by 6 field goals. The Pittsburgh Steelers could not get the ball in the end zone. Somebody please tell me what the hell.
Well,
Justin
Mike
Fields
Tolman still has a
sucks.
winning record.
Thank you, Terrence, for your one-liner answer. Come on, big brother. What do you got for us on Pittsburgh?
Justin Fields sucks.
He sold his rookie cards for like 150 and his autograph ones for like 350, 400.
Because the hype around him is still real for some reason.
It's like Daniel Jones hype right now. It's still real.
Yeah. I don't know why, but
I think
He's
Justin. Go ahead, Bert. Go ahead.
he's never been good. I don't know why people think he was like Chicago's Lord and Savior. I don't get it. It never made any sense to me. Like I just seen like watching his college games, he was fast, yeah, but he kind of like just chucked the ball a lot. He wasn't. It was just like I'm throwing it somewhere. I don't know who's going to catch it, but like that's something you can't do in NFL, mind you. A lot of the problems he had in Chicago, he still has now, where he doesn't know when or how to get rid of the ball, and he's slow to release. He's just not that good. Never been.
And you say Cousins is better?
Yes, Cousins is way better. Cousins actually proved it. I mean, Cousins is a very mid quarterback. You know, you're not going to expect a lot out of him. You know, he'll maybe have maybe one clutch game a year, and that's about it. That's what you're gonna get from Cousins. That's the ceiling of him. He's kind of like an Alex Smith in a way. He's not, nothing special, but he gets the job done. That's who Cousins is. And I don't mind that. That's okay. I think you kind of need that in Atlanta, and then Penix, if he's any good, is going to be that guy. Help Atlanta to get back into a championship mode or get back into the Super Bowl where they can choke again, 28-3.
My hate for Kirk Cousins was when he was in Washington. And at the end of every win, you like that? I like that. You want to
You
know
like that?
what I want to see him go into the slapping contest. By the way, Halpern's take on world sports coming up very soon. I have been watching these slapping contests. I want to see Kirk Cousins go through one. He survives, he can play in the NFL again. He is too fragile. That's why the Falcons said, okay, let's give him $130 some odd million. We're just going to draft NX8. Made no sense. Still doesn't. And I know if Mike was here, he would say, leave Rifkin alone. And you leave Rifkin guys alone. Leave Kirk Cousins alone. You know, that crying one. Leave Brittany alone. You know, make it Mike. Leave Kirk alone.
Kurt alone, man.
Alone. Mind you, I take my cheap shots at Mike that he's not here, because if he is here, he's so quick with one-liners back. It's like being in a contest with either Henny Youngman or Rodney Dangerfield.
So true.
Oh, I mean, I'm the old ops guy. I've been announcing stuff and doing stuff for a long time. These younger guys come back quicker with quips and whatnot. I could be out during the day and get a great random text in on one of these guys. Short. Detroit now down to the 1 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the half. Still 3-3.
They're going to take this as a 2-minute warning.
Probably. My problem with Kirk Cousins is he reminds me of Alex Smith. Overconfident. And look what happened to the poor guy. I mean, when you get the Joe Theismann injury on the same field, almost in the same spot, to the same day, and you come back, that takes cojones.
Mm-hmm.
But Kirk Cousins will never be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's not good enough. I'm sorry. And Mike, I know you're out there. I know you're listening. Prove me wrong, buddy. I don't hear you, Mike. Yeah, that's right. The silent majority. He ain't here. He can't speak. Pat, stop trying to text him and get him in here. Because
I text him, you're talking mad stuff right now.
Look, we were so concerned as a network of trying to make it fast, and we rushed things. We had a setback. We reformulated. We're using the middle letter of our network more than ever, insanity. We're going to have fun with this. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're going to be professional. Yes, we're going to have content. But we're going to have fun. Screw up.
You have fun, and it's still fun.
Yep. When you have an old man moment, hey, we'll come. We got to work on getting an advanced board so we can get sound buttons. We need sound buttons. So, like, patches ding, you know, when you make one of those. We need sound things that we can do for a live show.
When the Cowboys lose, we just have a bunch of obscenity being played.
Every time the Packers lose, we let out a big fart. All that cheese, baby.
Listen, man. Until you can beat the Packers in the playoffs, you don't have room to talk.
Can we go back to the? I know I'll have to go back 30 years. I don't care.
It's before my. Once again, Cowboy fans living in the past. They can't let the past go.
Live in the past. It's the only thing that's left in this mind. Do you think my future is beyond brighter than what it is now?
I mean,
I'm a 46-year-old broken down card dealer.
I mean, if Mike McCarthy can take you to the Super Bowl, I mean, who cares? You know.
I will promise this right now. If the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, Pac-Man will look out his windows that next morning to a nice big surprise.
It's going to be a burning steak of something.
No, I'm not that. No. We don't put anything at risk. No burning. And
it's going to be a burning cheese head on my front porch.
No, I was going to have a big picture of Troy and just paint it into the grass.
My neighbor wouldn't like that.
If the Cowboys win a Super Bowl this year, they will be so insufferable for the next 15 years.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine?
Like the Yankees winning a World Series. We'll talk about
Again,
it for the next.
Ooh.
again,
Let's say
I
down.
know,
His shoulders
I
down.
know.
But
you see, I'm an honest Yankee fan.
He's in
I
there.
can say when my team sucks or not,
That's
unlike other
close.
Yankee fans.
Eric, the Jets haven't been viable since the butt fumble.
We're talking about. I said the Yankees. I ain't said nothing about the Jets.
Well,
Keep
I'm hitting at the Jets
Jets.
because I can't really take a shot at the Yankees when my team is not does not have their record, so I can't take a shot there.
Yeah. But they have an
Look,
easier path to the playoffs.
The problem with the Mets is that they can't hit or throw or play or anything. That's pretty much it.
What I was taught this thing in sign language. What is it? Oh yeah.
Oh. That was very
Look,
royal of you, Mark.
Well,
Okay.
when I make all the rules and don't have to be the pretty face behind all the judgments, that's how it is.
Don't get mad that the Nationals have a better future than y'all do.
Oh,
That's true.
What? Because of
Oh.
Dylan Cruz? You're telling me you're going to base the Nationals?
Well-
and I have a guy here who's a National fan.
Well,
You're going to base the Nationals off Dylan Cruz.
Well, that and Josiah Gray, Mackenzie Gore, and the balls for the Nationals to trade Jesse Winker within the division so that they could use more prospects. I mean, come on now. That's actually a pretty ballsy move. It's working
See,
out for them.
See, I have to be careful because Big Brother is not big heavy. You can see the wrecking balls on that shoulder. So it's like one jab from the good old Big Brother would be the end of the old Mouse guy.
listen, Mark. Just remember, the Nationals have more World Series this millennium than the Mets do. The Mets might have more World Series appearances, but the Nats
a
still
definite.
have that one magical ring.
So the
Same with the
Nationals are
Yankees.
hobbits.
The,
Where the hell are
and,
you going with this?
and the Yankees have 2 World Series this year, this millennium.
This year they
Actually-
have the World Series this year.
actually,
Stop
this
drinking,
year.
Cash. You're
That'll
done.
be-
It could be worse.
That'd be incredible. Can you imagine that?
Yankees aren't
It could
going
be
to the
worse.
series.
It could be worse. The
I don't know
White
how we got
Sox.
to baseball.
The White Sox could have more World Series appearances than the Mets in this
The-
millennium.
Wait a minute. The White Sox do have a World Series this millennium.
Oh,
So do the Angels. So do the Royals.
Mike Trout has done everything he can do. His career's over. You're kidding me. That was scored. So after the review on the field, it was deemed that Jamar Gibbs
Yeah.
did breach the
Yeah,
plane.
that was definitely a touchdown.
I thought his shoulder was down before the ball
Yeah.
crossed the line.
Yeah.
But Detroit with a minute 57, which is a lot of time to give to one of the best QBs over the last 10 years. Stafford with 2 great receivers. You don't want to leave him with that much time. It's
Yeah.
like leaving 13 seconds for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. By the way,
You just don't do it.
Puka Nacua got hurt on one of the receiving receptions.
Did not see that because I've been talking to you guys. So it's questionable return. You figure he's done for at least a half right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's week 1. We got plenty of football. Oh, my raspy voice is coming out. It's not good.
Dan is a little under the weather. Luckily, he doesn't have to give the weather reports because if a screen fell on him, he would really be under the weather. That's his programming stuff.
Yeah.
Is there any other game that really happened today that needs to be talked about? You already did that one.
I mean, the Bengals continuing to be a dumpster fire the first few weeks of the season.
Yeah. What
There's a good one.
kind of crap is that losing to the Patriots?
So this game, Joe Burrow's return was going to be amazing. They did lose T. Higgins due to the hamstring, but still, Jamar Chase hasn't gotten his extension yet. That's because C.D. Lamb just got his, and he wants more than what C.D. Lamb got. So whatever. The New England Patriots were not considered to be a threat to win one, let alone two games all year. And they come out, and Gerard Mayo stops the Cincinnati Bengals, who are legitimately top, well, can't say today, but were considered one of the top teams in the AFC coming into the season. Patch, how did New England pull this off?
They just played better football than Cincinnati. You know, Joe Burrow's in his, I guess, villain phase, if you want to call it, with his new look, I guess.
His
And that's
Cody Rhodes phase.
his Cody Rhodes, I must finish the story face. You know, adrenaline in my soul, something, something, Joe Burrow. Waiting for people to start the show. Whoa. Yeah, it's just we see this every year with the freaking Bengals, where they, you know, don't do well the first 3 weeks of the season. They lose to a team like the Patriots, maybe a team like the Giants, or maybe even a team like the Panthers, and then they turn it on. But where's this like cutthroat team that made it to the Super Bowl that can, you know, maybe start off in a 7-0, 8-0? We haven't seen it. So
Eric?
it's
Oh, I thought, Patrick, you were done.
no, I'm done.
Okay. Eric? New England, Cincinnati.
I think we have to just give Joe, Cody, Slim Shady Rhodes, Burrow some time to really get his bearings straight. Because yeah, Pashy has a point. They they do start off slow for a good chunk of for like a few games, but then they turn on. Patriots, maybe they won't suck as much as they will this year. They will, but they could be a sleeper team. You never know. You never know.
As John Madden once said, I played with a bunch of guys that nobody wanted, and we went to the Super Bowl. I don't want to quote the famous term, there is no I in team. Jamar Chase is fantastic. I think he's one of the best. T. Higgins is down. Your team has lost Joe Mixon, so your running game is that of Zach Moss, which didn't have a horrible day, 9 for 44 and a touchdown. But without this passing game, the Cincinnati team's going nowhere. Dan? I know you don't want to talk much. I just don't want you to think I'm ignoring you.
I'll say this. I think it's a good win for the Patriots. I think it's a character building victory. You know, this is not a gimme. You know, Cincinnati's been good for the past few years now, so not a gimme. Very disappointing by the Bengals though, because you know you have your weapon. Okay, some are injured, some are there, but you know you have weapons and you have a good quarterback, but yet you allow the Patriots to come into your house and beat you.
And that's a problem.
Blows. Like, and that's not good. That's not a good feeling for week one. It's not. This Patriots team has no business winning any games. They're not that good.
Well, the Rams just got themselves into good position with about 37 seconds left, and they're inside the 20. They're inside the red zone. And Nakua has returned to the game wide open on the tight end screen.
Mark, I got a question for you.
Oh, boy.
What did you think about the 71-yard field goal almost attempt?
I think it was a mistake. I understand why Mike McCarthy didn't let him do it. He should have. I understand why, because, look, he was clearing stuff with an extra 5-6 yards easier in practice. The last thing you need to do is lose your guy who's been the most consistent kicker in the Dallas organization ever. The 66-yarder, just as Pat was speaking about, was with about 20 seconds left going into the half. And if not for a inadvertent move, the Dallas line move, there is no question about it because we saw it. He hit it right down the middle, 66 yards, which would have tied Justin Tucker's distance record. Mike McCarthy, instead of taking the risk of him pulling a groin or tearing a hamstring, opted not to let him challenge the record and played it smart and punted the ball away. It's week one. I understand it. Just like Pat said, we will if we go 2-2 or even 2-3 without Love, we're still going to be in it because we'll catch up. I wanted to see him kick it. I really did because I think he could have done it, but I understand the reasoning behind it. But it would have been nice to see. God, I wish I could be excited about anything. Geno Smith. Geno Smith didn't do anything spectacular today.
Yeah,
Bo
nice.
Nix had a horrible, first game.
So much for Denver, right? They're all amped up about their quarterback situation.
I mean,
Terrible.
again, 26 of 42, 138 and 2, but he did have 5 carries for 35 and a touchdown. Again, I wasn't trying to hit Shaquille O'Neal. That's how high that was.
I was about to say, like that was horrible.
I mean, rookie quarterbacks this season have not panned out so well in the start. Drake May didn't do anything. Drake May didn't play today, so we got to see Caleb Williams, didn't amount to much. We got to see Jaden Daniels, had a nice time running the ball. They all lost. We saw Bo Nix, he threw 2 picks. Denver lost. All 3 major rookie. I don't give Caleb Williams a win here.
Did we talk about the Tyreek Hill getting arrested and then?
Oh yeah.
No. Oh no, we haven't talked that. I was going to save that before the end of the show because let's jump into it. Eric, you want to lead us into it? You got it. Go for it.
Homie got arrested. He was literally detained by police.
Well, not just detained. He was cuffed to the ground. Wasn't that the case? Was he?
Yes.
Like it was it looked like it was a pretty serious situation. Turns out it was just
over a traffic
violation. A traffic violation? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
So there are 2 sides to every story. And as we all know, the first side is we got to listen to what Tyreek Hill did. He said he was pulled over. He didn't understand what he was being pulled over for, and it got into a heated exchange in which he may have bumped one of the officers, which then made it into more of an irate situation than it needed to be. However, there were more cameras on this, and you would think in today's age, police would have learned. I've watched many different angles, and there's a reason why 2 of the police officers were put on administrative leave. They were beyond rough with him for no reason.
Well, they're beyond rough with him, and he's Tyreek Hill.
Well, fuck that he's Tyreek Hill. I don't care that he's Tyreek.
Well. I mean, but it matters because if he wasn't a famous football player,
well, if he wasn't, okay. I thought you were saying, Tyreek gets to the stadium. We'll talk about it later. No, okay. I thought you were going a different way with it.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying. Yeah, he used his star power to 1, get out of that nonsense, and 2, to influence the police department to put those 2 morons on leave.
One guy, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong. One guy looks like he literally slaps him in the head. Clearly.
It does, yeah.
And look, again, you would think we have learned from years past Here comes the question I want, Eric. I want to know if the body cameras were on. Or like my guy Scotty Scheffler, there was conveniently no body camera. I want to know if the body cameras. I want to see the releasement of the camera footage, if there is any.
It's Florida.
It's
It's
Florida.
Florida.
It's
It's
Florida.
Florida.
Oh my god. Jeez.
Is there anything good that comes out of that state? Honestly. Okay.
Terrible.
No. Other news that's happening while we're at commercial before we get to the halftime, which might be also the old guys' time because I gotta get two kids on the bus in the morning.
doctor's orders. I have to be in bed soon.
Yeah. So Patch, get back here. I had to yell at him. I don't think he heard me. This is not. I don't care that Caleb Williams is 1-0, but he's not. He didn't have the game today. The Chicago Bears are 1-0, not Caleb Williams. In my opinion, all three rookie quarterbacks failed today. In my opinion.
I disagree.
Okay.
So, not that it's not that they. So yes, they did fail, but I'm not expecting them to just get like come out and just be like amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which quarterback are you talking about in particular?
All of them, all rookie quarterbacks. Like I'm not expecting them to just come out and be like, I'm that good. You know, like it's
What about
gonna
CJ
take
Stroud last year?
again different cases, different scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Nix is nowhere near
No.
CJ Stroud. Like, come on now.
That I understand.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to basically say, if you want to put a successful day on any of them, it's Jaden Daniels because of the 16 rushes
Yeah.
and the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
And that's the most successful.
And he did, and look, obviously Washington, they're a growing franchise. They're not there yet. New coach, new system, new philosophy, new team. But I thought Daniels was good. He showed a lot of promise.
He's got a number one receiver with Terry
mhm.
McLaurin.
That's the big advantage he has. Now, whether he can get him the ball, that's a different story. We don't know that yet.
You know, Jaden Daniels is there for the next 5 years. He isn't going anywhere. The thing that puzzles me is why trade away his only other target in Johan Dotson. That's what is just mind-boggling.
I mean, but was Dotson really a big contributor to the Commanders? I know he doesn't.
Well, it was only in his
be.
second season. I mean,
I fine.
He didn't have a time to develop.
I mean, I agree with you. I think they should, but I understand it. You know.
I share Dan's sentiments and I understand it. What do we have coming up on the network? Yeah, well, we're in football. Me and Danny Boy Reg will be getting the basketball podcast up and going soon.
Yes. We have that coming up very soon. Me and Old Ops Guy, we're in like the planning stages of that. We have the Bombers banter. I gotta get that done soon. I apologize that's not out yet. But obviously for obvious reasons I couldn't do it. But we're gonna get that out soon. It'll recap August. But you guys get the point. The Yankees had a really bad end of August. We go through all that.
Like I said, if the Yankees I predict the Yankees will get to the ALCS, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I'll be happy. I'll be content. I know they're not going to win the World Series. I'm like, if they just need to get to the ALDS, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. I won't complain.
Yeah. All right.
I think there might be a Yankee fan or two who might disagree with you, Eric.
Yeah, I don't care.
And look, Eric better than me. 'Cause I'm like World Series. You don't have to win the World Series, but you have to make the World Series. That's me though. In any case,
My
yeah,
like
go ahead.
my concern, and I was thinking about this. If we have at least 6 years to um win a World Series. If we get to 2030 and there's no Yankee World Series, I'm concerned. I am concerned. So we have about 6 years to get our stuff together. So I'm at a cold yellow. I'm not like going crazy, but I'm not going like, yeah,
So 2 decades without a World Series, that's enough for you. That's like, okay,
that
I'm done.
I'm going crazy. I'm
All
going
right.
crazy.
I feel that. I feel that. But anyway, Bill and I we recap August Bombers Banter. It will be out soon. And then obviously all the football stuff that's going on now, Thursday Night Gridiron, Sunday Sideline Report, all of them live and in color on YouTube. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot more podcasts and all the other tapings, YouTube as well. Please like and subscribe to us. Hit the bell, get those notifications, and comment on our videos. And then the sportscitynetwork.com for all of our shows and all the beauty. And then follow us on X, Sports City Network, or Facebook, Sports City Network. The old ops guy posts a lot on the Facebook, so he's very active there. So
The old ops guy finally has time during his day to actually breathe.
yeah.
And we'll have some more breaks from the dugout of Millwood. If you all do not know, on its way to grading, mind you, Erica, the reason why I was saying Dylan Cruz so much is because we got the first auto. 8 of 10 of the guys rookie card on the way for grading. So the dugout of Millwood had a very fun tape break that was done on batters up and on a random Thursday night where my daughter knew who the leading stolen base. Let me ask Eric before we go. Eric, who's the all-time leading stolen base leader?
Um, oh my gosh. My first answer is I don't know if it's the best answer or it's going to be a stupid answer.
Okay.
Jackie Robinson?
It's not a stupid answer. It's Ricky Henderson.
Okay.
Yeah. Now Jackie Robinson had a lot of stolen bases, but nothing that amounted to like what Lou Brock and Ricky Henderson on those numbers that they put up. Could we? There's only two people who can actually threaten it, and they got to be averaging 60 to 70 stolen bases a season. Not even when they're 38 years old. That's Ellie De La Cruz right now, who is on pace to break Ronald Acuna from last year. But if you want to listen to that, you got to tune into Batters Up. Read the articles, come to the sites, come to the platforms that Dan told you. And for the old ops guy, Danny Boy, Reginald, Sir Eric, Angry Jets fan, Ford, and Patchy, I'm the president. I'm already in bed. Whatever. Go to sleep. Enjoy. Feel better. And I
Thank
know he
you.
is the friggin' host, and I am not. So, Dan, can you make me the host quickly? I can end it.
I got you, buddy. Please stay safe, take care. We love you. We love all of you. And
Dan needs to get rest.
As Rifkin would say, namaste.
namaste.
Namaste. Catch you on